Happy Monday. Welcome back to Retake the Week. Yeah, it's been an interesting 7 days, right? Tier 1 CS seems to be back. Rostermania seems to have ended. And of course, there's been a bunch of very unimportant games played across a variety of smaller tournaments and some qualifiers. Unimportant to you, unimportant to the big names, to the Twitter bots who spam everything across your page uninterestingly and unoriginally. We might discuss some of it, we might not. But we're going to get into all the transfer moves for sure. We're going to do probably a few predictions, play some games. It's not going to be the most action-packed episode as far as news. But what there is, we're of course going to dig into as diligently and as entertainingly as we always do. Quack joins me, but we're not going to address him yet. He can sit there in his heroic jersey, looking like their sixth man, although I'm pretty sure he's got a visa that works, so maybe they should put him in their starting lineup. And we got to thank the members. The members make this show available on audio-only platforms. It doesn't always appear very quickly. I've gotten some comments on that. I'm aware. I have a job. I have a life. And honestly, it's a very fucking annoying process to do. But I get it done as quickly as I can, and it's thanks to them. Members also get access to the King's Court, the BTS, which there wasn't this week, we apologise, and all other live streams that become available. It's available for them pretty much exclusively. They also get access to their own podcast if they're a high enough tier, and that's as contributors. Everyone gets access to the podcast as viewers if you are members. Right. Quack, that's all the preamble, that's all the boring stuff. Tell me, you got anything to promo about yourself?
Read my things, Fragbite and the TLDR newsletter. Do actually read my Fragbite stuff right now because there's it's not a likely, but there's a non-zero chance we might need to geo-lock the website to Sweden because of bot invasions. But it's no, mostly go read that stuff. And Overtime on Inferno will be out tomorrow, where we have a nice chat with a special guest, which was very fun.
Oh, special guest.
Yes.
I'm sure that'll be very entertaining. Let's get straight into the juicy stories. Firstly, something we didn't address, but that was talked about on the episode of Overcom that came out last week. And that's MOUZ have added PR. Yeah, it's the Rostermania finale. We'll start there. We'll talk about these little moves that have kind of rounded out what remains to be rounded out in the Rostermania. And again, I think some of the excitement, some of the potential big moves, some of the true crazy stuff gets delayed 6 months. And I feel like we've been doing that a lot recently, right? But finally, some of it is coming home to roost. As a while ago, we saw MOUZ PR rumors for Jimmy. Now MOUZ have signed PR for real, technically replacing Jimmy eventually. Quack, initial reactions. Do you think PR is the right player for them? And do you think this roster is going to work out in the coming season?
On some level, at this point, the two MOUZ and PR know each other so well that it would be weird of me to question him being the right player for them. Like, they should know each other so well at this point after such a long, basically his entire career being connected to MOUZ. So I would say he's probably made the right move in that sense. If I think the lineup works as it should, I don't think so. I think we went into a little bit of detail on that last week, or maybe I'm confusing it because now I do have 2 weekly podcasts, and I look at this roster and it looks like you're throwing a very passionate guy with a work ethic that has been talked about, with any attitude that is fitting of a younger player like himself, into a team with 2 people who are pretty much decidedly hard to work with and 1 kid who is obviously going to be the scapegoat. It doesn't feel like it's going to work out. Like, if I'm looking personality-wise. Role-wise, that's your job. But even I don't even think I need to go there, because it just feels like one way or another in 6 months, somebody in this team is going to get ejected in an explosion. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, the role-wise thing is always interesting because, yeah, if I'm just following the listings, right, that people have of like who plays what role, oh, my stats, my page shows me that he plays these 3 spots and Skybox Edge has him playing these anchor roles. Like, if I just look at that and say that's my role breakdown for these guys, technically, That works. That's fine. It all works out. The problem isn't so much the roles on paper, it's the play styles. And this is what I talked about a lot on Overcom. I was just like, I don't think they've actually balanced this team out as far as who is and isn't going to want to play like a star, who is and isn't going to want to play with resources, with take timings of their own, have moves they can make. Someone's got to just sit there quietly on a bomb site and just do their job. Jimmy is literally the best at that. But Zelex on MOUZ and XT got set up for everything. Very hard setup as well. He got to trade. He got to play on incredibly favorable timings if he did go first. Like, considering how many rotator and opener spots he technically had, he very often left that to someone else and just played off their shoulder. He was truly set up. He wasn't a hard role player. Spinks, you set him up. He gets to call his number, he gets to call his shot, he gets to take little lurks, make little plays, but also when he feels the need to go for an opener, you throw the flashbangs for him, you let him do his thing. Then we get desertion, and when we get to our IGL, and you're like, oh, it's our IGL, it's fine. He's gonna, no, he hasn't done any of that. He hasn't become an IGL in this transition. We saw multiple events. He's now started playing a series here at Blast Bounty that's just started. Still looks pretty similar. He's not become a fully sacrificial piece. And then I throw this new player, PR, on top of it, and MOUZ now have 4 guys. 4 guys who have made their bread, become big names off the back of actual playmaking, active playmaking, not just sitting back and hitting shots. I think they have really overdone it. They've overcooked it. They've created far too many mouths to feed, and they're not exactly rich on food. Because the 5th player I haven't mentioned, I've just talked about 4 riflers. The 5th guy is the fucking AWP. He can't be my support player. That's literally not how it works. Not at any level. There is no such thing as a true support AWPer. There never has been. And I don't think this is the team that's going to revolutionize it. So yeah, they have, for my money, too many chefs, too many mouths, however you want to phrase it. Can it work? Yeah, there will be moments where they get the exact right balance. The egos are all in the exact right position, and they'll hit some shots. They'll win some games. But I don't think this will be a better version of the team. I certainly don't think this is better than the version of the team that existed with Broline and with Jimmy that made a bunch of top events, top placings at big events. I don't think they're even better than that. So no, this is, as far as upgrades, when we're talking about upgrades for this level of team, we're talking about winning. I don't see what the hell they're going to win.
Stay cranked.
If they attend it, yeah.
I don't think this is a team that can aspire to be the team that previously some would have said probably was the 2nd best team in the world. I saw somebody today had the take that Roland was one Vitality era from being on the best team in the world, and it's not even that far-fetched to say.
A little bit. Like, it's a little bit far-fetched.
They're not that far off. Like, if Vitality weren't the best team of all time and were instead a run-of-the-mill top 1 contender, as we would have in some of the non-era periods that we've had in Counter-Strike, then MOUZ would have had a legitimate claim to that number 1 throne as well, I would say. So
they might have ended up with 2, maybe 3 titles if we give them a very generous, like, sort of bit of credit that they had figured out how to be the best team on the biggest stage in the best of 5s. I didn't have that credit for them at any moment. Even when they weren't losing to Vitality, they lost to other people. So maybe they win an extra trophy or 2. I think that's very far-fetched to say they've been the best team in the world. That's a bit far.
It's a bit far, but it's not, like, just the fact that it's not, it's not entirely unreasonable. It's not that far off. MOUZ were ridiculously good, even if they did always lose to Vitality. That's like the only thing you can say about them.
They were pretty damn good.
Yeah.
But
point is, this team is not that.
No, they're not. They're not. Yeah.
No, but the bottom line is this team, I don't think has any chance of being that. And it sucks to be a downer on MOUZ because I do kind of like them, but I do think this is just a little bit of a fuck up. That not necessarily the signing, not necessarily the promotion, not even necessarily the decision to make Zershan the IGL. It's just way too weird. It's way too weird. I get a little bit of the feeling that I imagine you had about 100 Thieves, to be honest, when they made their lineup, because I'd be fine with one or two of these decisions in isolation if I was sure in some of the other pieces. But I don't have faith that Torji will, at this point, get back up there. I don't have faith in that. I don't have faith in Spinks being able to actually be all that good on a lineup like this, and he's not being heavily set up. I don't think it's sustainable to have Xerxen set himself up for everything and be the caller, and I'm not even entirely sure he's going to be that good of a caller to begin with. I'm not convinced that PR is going to be able to thrive in that environment, because I do think he is just a little bit of the guy who wants the resources and wants the space. And 5, I don't trust that Zelix is not going to get fucked over as a scapegoat. So, to me, this is 5 gambles. Make one of these decisions, and make one of these decisions. I'm fine with it, as long as we have. Right. Maybe we would have kept Roland on as the IGL. Maybe we would have had whatever it might be. Now I'm just it's way too many things. Flip too many coins, and you're not going to get all heads.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the one difference is they did as a backroom staff. Let's go with the optimistic take. If I'm the backroom staff of MOUZ, if I'm the coach, the assistant coach, the GM, the head of Counter-Strike operations, I don't know who they have in their backroom staff, but whatever. And I have looked at this roster play post-Jimmy with the awkward Broland benching situation with Xerxen leading. I've actually gotten a good look at least 3 of these pieces. I've seen Zelex forced to take 1 billion openers in a way that he doesn't enjoy and isn't very good at. He's not that bad at it, but he's just not very good at. I've seen Torji have to adapt to this extra flood of playmaking riflers. I've seen Xerxen call around himself and hit all these CT openers and big multis and all this other stuff. And the fact that I come out of it and go, I feel like I can add more playmakers to the mix. Maybe they're insane, but maybe they have just seen something that we've not understood as far as the players they have and the things they can adapt to. Maybe it is going to be a true support AWP, 4 playmakers type situation. Like, we've seen pretty similar ideas work in terms of just not having an AWPer in the past, like, to achieve certain results. Maybe there is some buy-in and some crazy philosophy like that, but that's a very optimistic take. That's a very idealistic, like, oh, they're just geniuses and they figured out something about the game that no one else is even willing to try, and they're going all in on it right now. Like, that's how you have to see it if you're delusionally believing in this MOUZ team.
If you're delusionally believing in this MOUZ team, you liked 2021 G2, or you would have liked 2021 G2. You would have believed in the Amanek support op. And if
how
you
many
did,
major finals did MOUZ make prior to these? Amanek support.
That's actually true. That's actually true. And this one made an incredible
carry job, an incredible Nico carry job. But we don't talk about that. Nico was a choker in majors until he won one, so we can't ever discuss how awesome that was. We have to pretend the Amanek support op worked.
Yeah, and the Cologne final they made as well. Let's not forget. Yeah,
that's what you have to hope for. That one of these players turns into Nico.
Yeah,
and that another one has to play like Hunter did during some of those runs, where he became truly known as Big Game Hunter and was dominating people on stage. Like, especially like the Cologne's Academy to end up winning. Like, Hunter was so damn good. You need 2 Kovac cousins. That's what you need to make this work. Good fucking luck.
So Zelix is going to be Jax. And I guess PR Spinks will have to fight over who gets to be Hunter and who gets to be Nixa.
Well, the rate he's been playing, Spinks is slumping into Nexa. Like,
yeah.
The way he's been performing for this team, he's gonna be Nexa.
Fucking hell. Yeah. See you in 6 months, and that's gonna be a fun shuffle because one of these 5 players is gonna be available now, and we'll probably go to a better team.
Oh, maybe.
Well,
because look, remember the last time Spinks was a part of a roster that kind of fell apart, or fell out, mostly with him, but with him at the core of it all, which I'm sure he will be if this team blows up. He got kind of lucky to be picked up, or MOUZ got kind of lucky to pick him up, and then that performed so well. To say any of these players goes to a better team after this potential catastrophe, I think is ambitious. Like, let's say in 6 months' time it's been a horror show and they bench Zelex, good luck, kid. Good luck. Because I don't think he'll have anywhere near the stock he needs to get himself onto a better team. He can definitely get into a lower tier team and smash people again, but that's a very different proposition.
I mean that he's better off in the long run. That's what I mean. It's going to be a your time on MOUZ doesn't count type situation.
We do love that. We do love that expression now. It's become so used and abused.
Yeah, like what is going to happen is that probably Xelix gets fucked over, moves down, probably somebody swoops in. I'm thinking that, honestly, give it 6 months. I wouldn't hate like a Focus. Like maybe Focus are in a position where they need a player like Xelix. I don't know.
Yeah,
something like that.
I mean,
100
places,
Thieves.
There's places you could go, like in terms of being tier 1.5, tier 2, especially tier 2.
Yeah,
but that's again
somebody in that layer.
Really,
100. No, yeah, sure. But then give it another 6 months. Give it another year. Suddenly, 100 Thieves are up in the top 15, and MOUZ are going at last place in Krakow. And full circle, it's gonna work out. Whoever, unless the only guy I think it's not gonna work out for is probably Spinks. If the team blows up and he goes away, then
I don't think it can work out for Spinks. I don't think it can work out for Xertion. I don't think Torji is a particularly hot stock either if he gets benched. Despite the fact that I do think he's a pretty solid AWPer still. I think so much of his game on the T side has been just bad rifling and flashbangs that it's going to be hard to overlook, and it's going to be hard for people to buy into. Well, paying him the probably like $20,000 to $30,000 or euros a month he wants. I think it's going to be tough.
Well, the Xertion, he's only 21, man. If you put him out of MOUZ, put him on a different team for 3 years, then he's going to be Torji's age now. And like, there's every chance it works out for him in the long run. It's just Spinks, but it's like, man, like,
I was forget how young Xertion is. He's one of the ones which always slips past me as far as being young.
Xertion was like just turned 16 when he joined MOUZ NXT, and now it's been 5 years since then. It's mind-boggling. Jimmy's the same. Like Jimmy's the same. He signed for MOUZ before he was eligible to play in the We Play Academy League, I think. Maybe he was, because you could have one exception outside of the 16 to 20 window. So maybe, yeah. I mean, anyway, that's way besides the point. I'm trying to be Nostradamus here, but like probably Spinks is just going to end up signing for Liquid and his career will be over. But like, it's one way or another, somebody is going to get out of this and they're going to be better off.
Maybe. Speaking of Liquid, though, you've now touched on them. We're going to transfer over to them like a weird parasite. They've benched siuhy, which... Is it a surprise? Is it really a surprise? We had the JT rumors. The team's also been genuinely dire the entire time he's been there, pretty much without recourse. Like, correct me, but I don't think there's been a single time where Liquid siuhy has looked promising. And it's more about Liquid not looking promising for most of it, but still, there's just a really weird sort of dark cloud floating over siuhy's time on Liquid. Anything positive to say for him? Let's start with him. And how do we see this working out for him? Like, in his favor, what is it that he does? Where does he make a move to? What kind of things happen if siuhy recovers from this? Because Game Legion was cool. MOUZ was pretty good. Not spectacular, but pretty good. Now it's been 18 months of genuine diarrhea. How do we get out of this?
I think a lot of... He might need a reality check. I think this season he probably needs to sit out. And I think he needs to sit and see that. Maybe realize that days aren't calling. There's not going to be a spot on foot. He's not better than, say, a Hooksy, for example. I think he needs a little bit of a reality check. Sit this season out. See what happens in the next couple of in the winter shuffle. And there, honestly, I mean, he obviously kind of worked with Ash, and Ash seemed to kind of like him. I doubt that there's a spot on an Ash coach side soon, since Aurora have Kixen now. But like, give it time. How sustainable is Hunter as a caller for G2? Give it time. Maybe there's something further down brewing, like maybe Big, for whatever reason, decide to make a little bit of a change. and tabs and retires or whatever. Yeah, you could maybe slide in there. Luminosity, a fucking shit fest. 100% Lux is going to be gone there shortly. And then that's the sort of thing where like Shuyi can start rebuilding. Because at this point, he was with Gamer Legion, had realistically one very, very, very good performance, and a couple of like nice little bits here and there. He looked tidy. The team looked tidy. He got a team. MOUZ bought him back. Then I'm not going to say he didn't put in the work, but like he joins an already top ranked side and just stays there. He wins stuff, sure, but like he keeps them on top. Then he goes to Liquid, further down. Under his tenure, they've gone even further down. I think he just needs to go to like a smaller stakes, smaller money, smaller transfer budget team to actually show that like, here are my pieces. Didn't get exactly what I wanted, but I can do this. And if he fails to do that, then I think he's just gone, to be honest. Like, and what are you going to do then? Because then he's flopped on Liquid, even while given not the best pieces, but not the worst. And from what I gather, he's had quite a bit of influence as well in like what decisions get made on Liquid. So then he's had that chance. If he then, let's say he then goes to a Luminosity, who maybe have been unhappy with Lux, say there's somewhere between 30th and 40th, kind of where Heroic are now, or where Liquid are now. Slots into there over the winter and gives it a season. If he doesn't improve then with Rainwaker, Afro, Azubu, and BMAS, not ideal, but like Gizmi did it, then I think he's just not quite worth it. So yeah, that's that. Okay. I think that's where I am. Give him one more shot, but it cannot be that he slots into like a top 15 ranked side and like hangs on. Because at this point, I think he needs to take a step down, prove himself, show people what he's worth.
Yeah, no, the idea, because I've seen some relatively optimistic posts about, you know, how young he is, how he could, you know, still deliver on his promise, his potential, that actually, you know, yeah, he's had a rough go of it on this project, but the other projects, you know, we had some positive things to say, so why not give him another shot? The reality is, as you said, someone 10th to 15th, or better, obviously, he's going to have a tough time selling them on signing this guy. I think one of the only, and I mean only, true promotions he can get into a project that's immediately like going to be exciting, it's actually if they probably won't, they probably don't, the players involved probably don't believe this will be necessary, but it's like something crazy, like a phase move. Like it's you slot him in there, you replace Jacob with him probably. You get Twists and Frozen back on their star shit. Actually, probably replace Nechi with them. You get them back to true stardom. Twist no longer has to call. Like you try something like that. That's the only place I see him going. That's like an immediate upgrade. Otherwise, it's tough to really pick apart which teams are going to want him. You mentioned Luminosity, and I'm like, I don't disagree that that'd be a decent place to prove yourself, but it's a bloody tough job. That's a difficult job. Like you're in the midst of the sort of VRS kind of halfway mark or no man's land. Like you kind of have to attend big events. You kind of need to attend small events because you don't have the firepower and the staying power to be guaranteed all those invites over and over again. Like it's just a difficult set of moves, a difficult sort of timeline to play out. Because yeah, Rainwaker, BMAS, Afro, Azuwu, as you said. Gizmi kind of made it work. That's kind of why Gizmi's such a high-rated guy, though. Because aside from Rainwaker and Afro, and even them, it's not been perfectly consistent. We're not talking about a stacked roster. Even those two guys are not. They're not going to be winning HLTV Player of the Year anytime soon. As awesome as I think Rainwaker's like story is, his redemption post-Liquid, hey, it's got some similar arcs forming there. I still don't think he's been so good that he can carry a bum IGL on an underpowered team. So, no. That'd be an incredible task. Pretty impossible to do. And then there's a bunch of other teams who you like, if they are in a worse position in 6 months, they could try it. Like Heroic, if in 6 months it's gone to shit, it hasn't worked out, they haven't delivered on their promise. And as I said, when they made the moves, they now have no excuses. They've got all the pieces you need. Crizzen, time to start calling a banger game, dude. if all of a sudden the problem is he's not leading them properly, he's not leading them well, maybe ends up on heroic. But again, they're ranking upgrades, but you're not all of a sudden playing towards winning big events. Not in the position he was on MOUZ. Like, he's still a long shot from it, and I think that's going to be the sort of barometer. Is can he be back at the level he was on MOUZ? Tough to see.
Yeah. It's tricky. I could see him going even further down. Like,
I could go back to Poland, which would be. There's not a whole lot to sing about in Poland.
Give it 6 months. What happens to TMB? I don't know, but this Phantom side looked pretty tidy. Maybe they could use a siuhy.
Part of it's also TMB.
Yeah,
pretty good caller.
Say he gets bought out then. He's 24 years old. He should maybe Phantom have a great fall season, and he's readily available for a move upwards.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm just
not
like
the worst idea.
Medisport move away from Stanislav for some reason. Put a siuhy in there. I don't know, man. Try it out. They'd probably go for
a pretty steep drop, yeah.
Pretty steep drop. Well, they're decent now since they played
67th. On VRS, they're 67th. That's a.
Oh, they dropped a bit then. But after they played in Jönköping, they actually went quite far up. I think they went up to. Maybe it was in Europe. Yeah, I think they're 40th in Europe or something. So that's like CCT playoff invites. That's not bad. Let's say give it 6 months. They can pay for him, and I want to try it. Polish coach plays with Fiku. Still like some decent level talent there with like Melo9 and Plopsky that I think siuhy would respect. I don't know. He could easily go to one of these teams, and if he managed to bring those back into the top 30, a team like that, I would 100% believe in him. And then I'd consider put him back on MOUZ, put him somewhere else up, somewhere around that tier. But like, I think we are way past the point where people were genuinely like saying he was a given future great IGL, somebody who would in the future definitely compete with Kerrigan and Apex and them. We're way beyond that, and he needs to prove it again. He needs to go down and bring something up. That's the thing. I feel like at this point, every team he's joined, he's ended the stint with that team at a lower rank. I don't know exactly where MOUZ were exactly when he joined, but it's not a meaningful difference exactly. And Liquid was a drop. So Gamer Legion, yeah, he built him up, but he didn't even do it in CS2. In CS2, he hasn't done that.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about how much credit we can give him or anyone else in the scenarios he's been in, right? Where it's been the Ash-led Gamer Legion with heavy coaching influence. Cyclone seems to have a very big hand in everything MOUZ do. And then you go on to a team with a fresh IGL, like a new IGL, not IGL, coach. A coach who's relatively fresh. He's just come off being an assistant coach, now a head coach. And it goes pretty catastrophically, despite not a void of talent. Like, they had some talent on that roster. And just very rarely seemed to be on the same page, and quite often had complete mental collapses and looked tactically not that special either. It does reflect badly upon him. Going down deep and bring someone up is, I agree, the best thing for him. But that does mean we're a long way away from seeing him back at the top.
It's not going to happen now. It's going to have to be 6 months, and I hope he uses that time to maybe realize that he needs to take a step down and doesn't go what I presume is the Degster route, which is waiting for a top team to call, because they won't.
Probably won't. But all right, let's talk about our final MOUZ adjacent move. Game Legion adjacent move, rather. Because Game Legion now added Flammus. I realized when I tweeted to promote this, I put the wrong team in there. I said MOUZ instead of Gamer Legion, and that's now stuck in my head. But yes, another player who's been involved with Gamer Legion, who has made his move. Flammus has returned to Gamer Legion. He joins to replace PR, and honestly, it feels like of all the teams we've discussed here, they're the ones who've lost the least. Like, they've just kept walking. Like, this is, as far as losing a leg then replacing it, pretty seamless, right? Like, Flammus kind of does what you'd want PR to do. Plays some anchor spots, likes to play make. He's not the exact same player, but the profiles aren't too far apart. is this the easiest fit of all of them, Quack? Is this the best move of deadline day? Well, it's not quite deadline day, but you know what I mean. For us, it's deadline day.
No. I'd still give it to try to Legacy.
Yeah, but that's not in the last week, is it?
Oh, in the last week. Okay, I thought you meant like in Rostermania as a
No, I meant the shit we're talking about today, man.
Yeah, I mean, the Gamer Legion kind of got away with an upgrade, maybe. This is stuff that I am not so tuned into that I can say for sure. But
Right.
in the aforementioned Overtime on Inferno episode that we recorded, there was a lot of talk about the role balance on this team. How Flammus coming in brings a better balance for Rez and Tauson, and potential for making a better role distribution between them and Snacks, which is obviously a win. And then if that's the case, like compared to PR, I think Flammus has the talent to be about as good. If his arrival can then also improve Rez and Tauson, then fuck yeah, this is an upgrade. And I think there were several ways to go about this. One that I said was, if it was on the table, and if they were interested in going that route, and if they were losing PR, I said this at some point in the spring season, Gamer Legion could have picked up Malo 9. I also would like that. You can slot in a bunch of interesting players into this Gamer Legion side and actually make a team that I think is nearly as good, at worst, as Gamer Legion with PR. So this is one of them. I didn't see it coming because all the talk was about how Flammus was going to cost $700,000, which is probably not true. But we also know that BC Game tried to get him and literally said the numbers didn't make sense. Gamer Legion are not buying, like, they cannot offer more money than BC Game. So I doubt that he was worth all that much. I doubt that they paid that much. I'm starting to wonder if, like, maybe considering they sold him to Virtus Pro, I'm wondering if they still had like a buyback clause or something in the contract. But like, I like the move. What do you think?
Yeah, I like it for them. That's why I said it was so seamless. Like that's kind of the appeal. Is just you replace a guy who kind of plays a role but also can play make with a guy who kind of plays a role but also can play make. You know, there's a lot to like about it. So no, I didn't really expect it. I mean, I wasn't sure what would happen to Flammus. I wasn't expecting this. But at the same time, I'm very happy to have seen it. You know, when it came across my desk, metaphorically, I was like, yeah, okay. I can see the logic. I can see how this will work out. And I think they've made one of the more astute signings of this offseason, of this specific little window as well. We're talking about the end of the window right here. Pretty great. The fact that BC Game, you said there were some ridiculous numbers involved. Is that's maybe like the arsehole tax coming into play, or like maybe not the arsehole tax, but like they know they have fuck you money, so for them the price is up here. You know, it's just a bit of a price gouge on BC Game to try and get the maximum out of them. Who knows?
I can't keep track of it all, but I think I seem to recall BC Game definitely said that the numbers didn't make sense, quote unquote, to sign. I think the CEO said it outright. I seem to remember that there were talks from like Overdrive or somebody like that BetBoom wanted to buy him as well because they liked playing with him, like they liked the way the team played with him, but couldn't afford it. And again, now we're talking like, okay, so like Russian betting organization and crypto betting organization cannot afford a player, but Gamer Legion buy him outright. That's strange. Like, Gamer Legion do not have that money per that one HLTV report. So I can only imagine that they had a buyback clause, or the amounts involved were severely exaggerated, and BetBoom and BC Game just decided to go a different route for some other reason.
Yeah, there is a chance. There could be some, like, did Game Legion ever own or have Flammus outright as a player?
Oh yeah, they sold him to Virtus Pro. Yeah,
buyback then maybe just simply as the.
I'm thinking that, but it's strange when he's I guess the report. I guess he's still on the same contract because when he was benched, there was all this talk about how he was on a 4-year contract with a massive buyout or something, and it was like he's never getting out of Virtus Pro, and that was kind of true. So, but yeah, didn't really work out on VP. Didn't really work out on OG. Kinda worked out on BetBoom in strange circumstances.
Pretty well on BetBoom. Like the BetBoom version with Flammers was awesome. And a part of that was Flammers providing a lot of value. So, yeah, I mean, I think he's done a pretty good job of, in a way, we talked about players losing stock and then needing to rebuild. He's kind of done that because there were some of the moves that he made. I did look a bit awkward, like his fit with these teams. Like maybe those issues could be a problem in the future again. But he's at least done enough on BetBoom to secure himself that new contract and that new money. So, congrats to Flammers, and I hope for their sakes, Game Legion, that it works out. Because they're a pretty fun team when they're playing well. I've warmed to Snacks as he's warmed to being a good IGL. He has somewhat figured that out, and so this team's fun again.
It's not just prep.
Yeah, it's not just a bunch of prep and then him baiting everyone. Like there is a little more to it. He does have more impact, and the calls are looking better. So very excited about this Game Legion side, and hopefully Flammus is a part of that.
Yeah.
Right. Have you seen Quack? People have got no money.
I have 2 eyes. Oh yeah,
sticker money's all gone. How are we supposed to survive? Tell me, what's the story? What's the news here? How has the money shifted? I don't read articles. That's your job. What's changed?
What has changed is fewer stickers are being sold.
Yeah.
And all organized the distribution is now performance dependent. You get a significantly smaller percentage of the sticker money as one of the lower performing teams. And teams are now mandated to have a 50-50 split between players and organizations. And this is not always the case because it depends on the wording of the contracts they had with the players. Like some teams will probably still be able to get some of the players' sticker money if the contract states something like their right to the player's sticker money. Like I don't know, but that's how I imagine it's going to work anyway. But yeah, those 3 things have changed. That has meant that a lot of organizations have significantly less money. And this was a deep dive from Luis Mira of HLTV.
Yeah.
It's honestly pretty dire. What I find interesting is that the reason why they're selling less is because they're selling for more. A lot of the stickers now are significantly more expensive than they were, and they are during the major. Usually the stickers are super cheap during the major, then they go up as rarity increases. Yeah. But since we no longer gamble for the stickers, we just buy them outright, and it's based on a popularity system. That's how you end up with, like, there's this one thing that a Gabe follower posted at some point early in the sticker sale, which was if you bought 10 of each of the most expensive CS2 major stickers, so like 10 of the 10 most expensive, it would run you $40,000, which is insane. That's like $400 per sticker. So yeah, very few people actually bought stickers compared to how many people were buying capsules before. And what that has meant is that one of the teams that HLTV spoke to exited the major in stage 1 and said that in the first month of the we're now like a month after the major, so I guess 2 months of sticker sales, they've earned $60,000 compared to where Contender, the old Contender sticker capsule from Budapest, made around $600,000 for the organization. So it's another one who went into stage 2 and thus had a bigger split of the sticker money, $120,000. Another organization here says that they are making, at this moment, they're making about $100 per day from major stickers, which is, look, a lot of people will say that they're not entitled to anything, these organizations, and they aren't. Valve do this system because they can, because they, I guess, want to slightly support the esports ecosystem. They've decided to do it in a roundabout way. And that's also fine. But it's not exactly fine when this when this was a random mid-season, even post-qualification decision made, which means that teams that were relying on a ballpark figure of so and so much sticker money are then basically rug pulled, and then basically found out, no, you're going to have a tenth of what you estimated. And normally I'd say, why did you take that business risk? I didn't even really think there was a risk here. Sticker money has been like a constant, and the way it has worked has more or less been a constant since 2013, 2014, when we actually got team stickers for the first time. Weird. One of the teams that HLTV spoke to actually did. This was like, you can figure out which one it is, because it was one of the stage 1 teams, as in ended in stage 1. Made a big signing in the lead up to the major, hoping to recuperate the money they spent on that signing by playing in the major. Read between the lines, it's pretty obvious it's NRG, and then the fact that they bought Grim.
Okay, yeah.
And that's completely out the window. They are not making that money back from the major. 100% they are not making it back. Probably like big, reportedly, Blame F signing was reportedly $400,000. I'm sure they'll be fine. I think their economics are pretty healthy in general. But they were probably hoping that sticker money could contribute to like a significant amount of those buyouts, and probably have to rebalance things. Other teams who are in a worse situation might need to go down in salaries, might need to go down in this and that. You can say whatever you want about that, but the fact that it kind of came out of nowhere in like the middle of May is what a lot of people and the organizations involved have taken issue with. So, yeah, people are broke. It's not just Gaming Gladiators crying about it all, or like when the VRS system was introduced and random sub 100 ranked team in the world was mad about open qualifiers disappearing because we need the sticker money to survive. iNation, I'm looking at you. But this is actually pretty bad. This is actually pretty fucking bad, and there's just no way, or actually it would be very bad for all of us involved if the Singapore major used the same system. So that's not good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a mark against the major system right now, that teams are less reliably able to use it to make money. It's not the point of the major system, I understand, but it's an important feature. You know, it always has been. We've always needed it to sustain Tier 2. Because Tier 2 is just financially difficult to make work. So no, it's an ugly situation. We needed more money, really. Like, we needed a better split, a better way to do things. But instead, it seems we've gotten worse. So I don't know. I'm not very happy with it. And you said early on, technically Valve doesn't owe them that. Technically, the major doesn't have to be monetized at all, right? Like, there's no actual need to have stickers be purchasable. It's all just a money-making operation.
Even if you have it, Valve could just pocket the cash, or like give it all to ESL.
If it is there,
or like
it can all stay in Valve's pocket. Yeah, it can just stay in Valve's
pocket. It could
all
go to the players. Valve could say 100% of the money has to go to the players. And
well.
if we find
out, get a lot of player-run orgs. We'd have.
Yeah.
But we'd be in that situation.
Run it back. Yeah.
So the fact that they've made this choice, I think, is I don't think it's a good idea. I didn't like the you can choose what sticker you get thing. Like, I understand a lot of countries are getting real stupid about gambling now, despite the fact that it just isn't gambling. But whatever. A lot of countries are being really fucking stupid with their regulations when it comes to case openings.
Look, I'll say this though. I see the point with being against loot boxes and etc. Of course, in the end, it is kind of just the same as when you do Pokemon packs. So I don't think it should be outlawed. But I see the point, because I think as far as I've been able to read up, there is actually like a measurable effect on like gambling addiction, and especially in children with loot box systems. Why did you have to go this route instead of just, let's say, go the baseball card route? have a little pack. Sell major sticker packs. €2 each or whatever the fuck you want to price them at. €10 each. I don't really care.
Morons would buy them at €10 each.
Well, no, probably not. No, but like whatever figure you want. 4 stickers in each. This is the thing that Striker said. Open it up, you get randomized, but you're guaranteed to get 1 purple or better, and then 3, let's say, blues. That's the system, which is literally baseball cards. Baseball cards are not being outlawed. That is exactly how baseball cards work. Or like football cards, or whatever. Not being outlawed whatsoever. Like, clears all the checks in terms of legality in every single country in the world. Probably, I would imagine. I haven't read the text, but it should. It's the kind of thing I would imagine is defensible in court. But you still get, like, a level pricing. You get a thing that you can invest in. You get, like... You get a sense of the rarity. Like, the rarity affects the value. It's a collector's item. And it's... Functionally, it should be exactly the same as the old system of capsules. Just that it kind of... I think, in principle, having a guaranteed rare and a couple of commons moves it slightly away from the loot box factor where it is...
It's still literally a fucking loot box. You've turned it from a crate to a FIFA pack, bro. Like, it's just
knowing that you're getting a rare, I think is a legitimate distinction that actually would get past
this. You are guaranteed a rare in a pack on FIFA. Like, that's also been a thing since forever. Like, this isn't novel.
FIFA are not in court, as far as I know.
But that's the thing. What FIFA do? It's still the exact same gambling mechanism, if you want to call it gambling. You're still doing the same thing. You buy it, you get something back, I do think that thing has value. That hasn't changed. The fact that when there's some morons in courts crying about how this is making their kids gambling addicts. Your kids have been gambling addicts since they were ripping Pokemon packs, by this logic. It's always the same mechanism. It's just now because it makes a dingly noise on the PC, it's now, it's going to make them all into gambling addicts. Everyone already is. Everyone was already an alcoholic, smoking, gambling addict. And you're crying about this, changing it by 2%? Fuck off. Let us have our good fucking skins.
The difference maker... Honestly, when I read up on the New York thing, I think they were mostly upset about the fact that it looks like a roulette thing. It looks like a slot machine. If you had just pressed the button and you got a thing, then I think they would have been... I don't think this would have happened. It's exactly the same thing. It's just visuals, but I don't think that lawsuit would have happened because I think that was kind of what they were on. Anyway, that's besides the point.
There's a stupid lawsuit.
Yes, I'm saying, but there's a way I think Valve could have sidestepped it without ruining the economy of 32 esports organizations.
And keep fucking living. Like, it's just a terrible premise.
Well, yeah, but like, it's such an easy thing to do. Just sidestep it slightly by doing this without wrecking the economics of 32 esports organizations.
I guess you could just leave it. You could just...
It's just like... It's just...
Literally, do a FIFA pack. Instead of a ding, 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 go...
Yeah. And the fact that you have, like, when you get it, you can look at the back of it and say, there's at least one rare in this. Okay, nice. That's what I wanted. Open it, you get a rare. You're not happy with the rare. Who cares? You got a rare. You knew you were going to get a rare. It's not this kind of thing where, like, you either hit the jackpot of $200 or you hit cents and you've lost your money. Instead, it's like, you open the pack. Yeah, you might lose the value. But you knew you were going to get at least one rare, and you did get that rare. You open, like, it's...
All you've done is change that rares are now going to cost even less. You just made rares cheaper. You haven't solved anything.
Sure. But like, the system exists. People would buy it.
I guess.
Yeah, it's really stupid. But that's where we've ended up, and I do think Valve, it was preventable on Valve's part. I think that's what I'm trying to say. They didn't have to go this route.
No, and again, they still actually didn't have to change anything. But whatever.
Who knows? I'm not I doubt you've read the court documents on that entirely, and I haven't either. But like, we don't know how that lawsuit's going. But like,
there isn't
even if their regular loot boxes are in dire straits, they could have done it differently. That's my point.
Yeah, I'm tilted by this whole thing because it's crying over nothing. The people who are taking Valve to court over this shit are just crying over nothing, just finding a way to waste everyone's time and money again, so they can feel important. Sure, it'll look great on a campaign slogan, but the reality that we have now is that there are a bunch of teams that are just not going to be able to make money off the major, and that a bunch of teams will struggle and probably fold. Like we saw that when the open qualies were removed. Some teams panicked, folded. Off the back of this, some teams clearly will be folding or will be struggling in the next 6 to 12 months because even though they made the major, they made shit all back. So I do think we're in a really rough spot for Tier 2, which again, always needs that sort of money. Like we've seen in almost every big professional sports league, money needs to flow down. Currently, it's just not going to. As I said, we'll probably end up in a weird situation where teams fold. You'll still have mixes playing, but it might lead to another sort of reduction in the talent pool as far as who can sustainably prac and play at Tier 1. Well, something resembling Tier 1. All right. That's the big hoopla about that. I thought I've not got a lower third for this, but I'm going to wipe the slate clean beneath us, just as we should have. After 6 months, we wipe the slate clean. We're going to a new season. Some games have already been played. I thought, Quack, we'd take a swing at some predictions. Make some projections for the next 6 months. So let's start with this. I'll ask you this question. Which team that struggled, failed, tanked, suffered in the first season of this year do you expect to make the biggest bounce back in the second season? Who's your pick for the team that turns it around?
Ooh. So to list some candidates for who I think has been maybe struggling. Area is probably a valid candidate. For it's an edge case, but I'd say they have been struggling this season compared to the last.
Yeah, they've got 3 top 4s, including 2 finals. That's it across the entire season. So yeah, that pick.
I can't say Perivision have been because this season was when they got good. Astralis, I might consider them as a candidate. Especially towards the end. FaZe, obviously. Probably Mongos, I would say, have been struggling a bit compared to last season. Of course, I don't think they're going to do better. I'll just say that. I think I'm going to back my... like Heroic's an option. But I think I'm going to back... I can't even really say that they've been struggling. I'm going to say Heroic. I think Heroic have built a ridiculously good team where really the only 2 pieces I see not working out at the moment, like potentially not working out at the moment, is Chrisen and Susp. Susp was a little bit of a letdown in the spring season, but the team was in kind of a messy state. And Chrisen, like we said, he has the keys now. If it doesn't work out, then I'm going to start pointing some fingers, and some of them are going to be at him. So if Heroic don't work out, I think it's a little bit of a failure, but I do think they will. I do think Heroic will improve, because this season was a struggling season. Like it kind of went quietly, I think. Like I didn't really think about it. I didn't really think about the fact that Heroic were struggling because they won a LAN. They like participated in tier one events, and they got the odd win here and there. But then they did go out early in the major, and like they didn't really do anything of anything in most of this year. Like I'm not even sure they made a single playoff in the couple of MVP events that they did play in this year. So like definitely a struggling year. The Blast Bounty technically at the start of the year is a playoff, but it's just it's been pretty grim. So I hope they're going to do better, and I think they are going to do better. Yeah, they're going to be my pick.
Okay. I think for me, Liquid. I just refuse to believe that with an IGL change incoming and the talent they already have, plus the addition of Jorko, which is far from a guarantee to make them, 10 times better. But there's enough positive things happening combined, and again, already enough talent on paper that this next season I think has to be better. I think NIP make the major. I think that's going to be a great team to follow, because they've struggled to find the right fit in that sort of second rotator second star position, I guess that's the best way to call it.
Mm.
Even though kind of confusing as to who is the second star right now compared between Note and Casper Sky, because things have kind of changed. The roles look a bit different, but still, that team found their AWPer halfway through the last season, or towards the end of the last season. They seem to have found in this offseason a great promotion in Note, taking him out of the academy system. I think NIP should be a team that turns it around. Another roster. I mean, I'm not sure how much we want to say they failed or struggled. But maybe. Okay. Yeah, I think Bait will make a real placing. Like, make a top 8 at a real event. Because they haven't. Despite seemingly having everything going for them. They've just struggled to make playoffs at almost any event they've attended. I'm going to give them the edge. Because, they got a 7th, 8th exit in Atlanta. And that showed, this team has the ceiling to do it. If they don't face Vitality in the lower final, there's a good chance they make a deeper run, or they make at least a playoff appearance in that event. So yeah, I'm going to take those 3 teams as sort of my picks to do better in the coming season.
Yeah, I'm not entirely on the NIP train. I think at this point they've had good pieces for so long where they just should have been more. But like I said, it should have been more. It might also be a matter of time. It might be this season. Probably the roster is in the best spot it's ever been.
Position, and they had question marks in the rifling positions, but it's always like, yeah, but surely with everything else that works, they should be able to do something. But again, I've set my bar at make the major, right? Like, I've not set it on the moon. I'm not saying they're going to make a grand final of a big event. Yeah, but that seems like a good place to aim for.
I'm still not convinced they even do that. But it should happen. That's the thing. So I don't hate it. Liquid, I'm just not on, to be honest. I'm just not on them kind of at all. I think that at this point, I do honestly think their issues are deeper rooted than just an IGL change. Or maybe they've become deeper rooted. Like, they're great players, obviously. Naf, Elish, and MOUZ. We have Yorko coming in, who I think is very talented. More than Ultimate, at least from what I've seen in either of their non-liquid careers. And JT's obviously better than siuhy, in my opinion. But I wonder if maybe it's starting to get a little bit too late for Naf and Elish. Like, to be the players that they were even like 2 years ago. On their best days. I don't know. I'm just feeling like JT's got to pull a lot out of all of them, to be honest. That's what I feel like. And he can. He's good enough to do it. But
the thing is, we're not asking him to pull, like, draw water from stone, right? That's the old idiom. We're not asking him to make something happen that literally could not. Like, there is no chance that, for example, if I gave JT Kicker and Buster, he'd turn them into top 10 players. But he's playing with Elish, Naf, and MOUZ. Like, there's talent there, there's experience there, there's even some old familiarity there. That's a lot to work with. And then look, Jorko for Ultimate. Jorko's so young and mechanically so gifted, and I believe in him. He may not be better than Ultimate. Like, there's no guarantee that he will be. There's always a risk with very young players. But if I get everything else on this team working, I don't care. I just don't care. If I'm liquid and I've got those riflers firing and the calling is solid, I will be all right. Even if Jorko takes a long time to acclimatize to tier 1, struggles a bit, feels intimidated, doesn't like how he's bullied off his spots or whatever, no matter what happens, he will have such a strong rifle core around him. I don't think it'll matter too much. So I've got, like, really, I mean, I'm not going to go too crazy off rip, but the idea that they'll be definitely better than what they were, for me, is a given. That's just a given. The fact that they're currently like 45th or something like that in VRS, he'll have them top 25.
Possible. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Probably. On his top 25 is the kind of bar that I think they could clear. They should clear. At this point, I'm just feeling like the liquid is institutionalized in Elysian NAF. That's the thing. At this point, it's just
They're inseparable from the liquid culture. Is that the idea?
yeah. There you cannot separate. You can take. I guess you can't. You can't. People have tried. You can't take NAF out of liquid, but you also can't take liquid out of NAF. Like it's just always gonna be liquid.
It's a genuinely hilarious idea.
Yeah.
Like, the problem is them. They cannot be solved.
It's not necessarily the problem is them because they're also the solution. Like as you say, the talent is there. They should be good. There's no reason. I don't think Elige is too old to be the Elige that he was a couple of years ago. I don't think that's the case. I don't think NAF is too old to be the Elige that he was a couple of years ago. But I think at this point, it's just
also be the Elige he was.
Oh, yeah. I just think at this point it's been too long in liquid. And to be honest, your time in liquid does count. Like it does. That's
a point I had to make to you once when you, I think it was Rez, is like, you try to apply your time in an IP doesn't count. And I was just like, he was an IP. He was on an IP for so long.
And
that it kind of had to count.
I think at this point it's just there's a risk that it's just too far gone. And like JT will do everything right, but you just cannot get the 115 you need out of a leash. You cannot.
I'm not sure you need a 115, but yeah, okay.
I think that's what you need. Maybe out of Elige or mobs, I guess. But yeah.
Yeah, some combination of talent will be alright.
They'll probably be alright, but I don't have high hopes. I also don't really know where they go from here, to be honest. Let's say they have a good season and end top 25. What do they do ahead of 2027?
I mean, just keep kicking on, just keep building. Like, is that not enough?
But like, what do you do when NAF and Elige? I guess it's the same as any other team. I just feel like it's too much liquid in them. Way too much liquid in them. They need a rebrand.
It's too much liquid.
They need a rebrand. Like
you're too wet. Dehydrate yourself.
We said 70%. That was it.
Not a drop more.
Not a drop more.
Yeah. No, I think they'll be good. But let's try and make another prediction. Who do you think is going to crash and burn? Like, who's going to be? I mean, maybe you can go anywhere with this you want. Could be a roster move that you think is going to fail. I mean, we've obviously talked about endlessly how we think PR's not going to be good enough, so maybe avoid that one. Or PR's fit is not going to be good enough. But is it going to be a roster move that you think is not going to work out? A team that's been floating, on sort of or walking a very thin line and is finally going to fall off? Like, is there someone you expect to just drop the hell off this next season?
I don't have one like immediately in my mind. I do think Luminosity is going to crash and burn, which is a shame because I think they built a nice thing about Monty. But they're not that high to begin with. It's not that high a fall. It's kind of a cold take. Like, find a person in CS who doesn't think the Lux Luminosity thing is whack instead of Gizme. I know you are gonna look towards South America for your answer for this question.
I don't know what you mean. I have a very positive opinion of all South American teams and fan bases. I don't know
you must have been
why
distraught
the World
on
Cup
Sunday.
have anything to do with that, or have reinforced any views or beliefs. I don't know what you mean. So, please make your prediction. Make your pick.
Look, I honestly can't pick one. I think MOUZ is the one I was going to pick. But I have this, I'll just instead talk about this little feeling I have in the back of my head when I look at Foot and their spot on the ranking.
I think Foot are
because
okay.
Jugs and Demon cannot stay there forever. They were looking to replace Symmetry but didn't. Xfloud, while great, is gonna have to be better than he was on Heroic. Like in his entire time on Heroic, I think he's gonna have to be better. on foot than he was there to make a true impact. I mean, he's surely going to be a prospect. Like, we have a nice IGL crop at the moment. Like, whenever there's a move, one of these old heads decides to leave, could be fucking Fallen for all I know. Like Crabbenny, Gizmy, these kind of players are going to be prime suspects. Maybe even LNZ come the end of the season. I just have this little bit of a feeling that, like, they're not going to be able to keep the good players forever. And maybe also there's a little bit of a stagnation of this specific roster to come. And I'm not sure how many roster changes you can make on this team and stay this team. So like Lonix is already gone, but he wasn't really this team to begin with. He was just the guy who came in from Akaze and was a good fit, but not like he wasn't part of the family.
He wasn't 1-for-1. Be clear.
He's like married. He was like not blood relative. That's the thing. And
he was a cousin.
There's gonna
team.
There was a time. There's gonna be probably gonna be a time sometime during the 2026 fall season where Symmetry is just not good enough. Where Symmetry is just gonna obviously look like the weakest part of this team, or one of the weakest parts of this team. And can they get another Opera in there and actually still look good? I don't know. Jukes or Demon might look so good that they actually do get that promotion upwards somewhere. What do you do then? That's the kind of thing. I think the transfer saga is not going to shake out in their favor when it eventually happens.
Okay, interesting little prediction. I mean, that probably takes a while to kick in, though. That's probably not an immediate concern, is my only thought.
This fall season is going to be over. When this fall season ends, it's going to be over a year since they signed for Foot. So how long is their rise going to be before they start to stagnate? Like, as a 5. I don't think any one of these 5 players, except for maybe Symmetry, is actually going to stagnate themselves. But, like, at some point, a Constellation just usually does. So it's going to be over a year since they joined Foot. Could be now. Maybe X-Flood brings enough new blood, or maybe... I don't know. I could be wrong, but it's just a feeling. It's just a gut feeling.
Yeah. Okay. We'll have to see. Obviously, we're a long way from seeing them fall off entirely. We need to see how they play with X-Cloud. That's going to be a big question that needs answering. And I do have this... I have this feeling they're going to be okay. I don't think they're going to keep rising to the extent people would hope. But I think they're going to be all right. They're at least going to float around 10 to 15, have the occasional like a playoff appearance, and that'll be enough for such a young squad. And if players keep developing, then yeah, we'll see them kick on from that. We'll see them reach top 4. We'll see them potentially even go challenge for titles. But I do think you're right in terms of the X-Cloud edition. I don't think it moves the needle in a crazy amount. I think it just maintains them from what they were before. It's just about seeing how Crabney can evolve, how Jugs can keep growing. And yeah, eventually maybe Symmetry has to go, but eventual. It is eventual for a reason. Now for me, I know that there's been a lot of talk about Na'Vi being frauds. It's all over the place. That Na'Vi are fraudulent. And the fact they haven't made a roster move, to me, is concerning. Not because I think they're terrible. Like, not at all. Like, I think they're a pretty solid team. You've had a lot of legit results, but everyone else is pretty good around you. And that's one of the key problems. Like, Fury are still pretty damn good. Falcons just won the damn major. Vitality obviously were. They lost to Falcons in the closest possible 3 maps just available. Like, that was as close as it gets. But they're not that far removed from being major champions themselves. And Spirit are still Spirit. You don't have a donk on Na'Vi. So you kind of have to be a bit more cynical, I think, and a bit more brutal with your removals and additions. I think the fact that Imma's still here, I think that means just Na'Vi are a bit delusional as to what their potential is and to what sort of team they actually are. They sit at 5th right now in the HLTV rankings. I think I'd give them the edge over Furia, but that's about it. Like, as far as the top 5 matchups go. And then if a lot of the other roster moves that have been made around them, like on teams beneath them rather, work out, we're talking things like Aurora's rebuild, you know, throwing in some structure, some better calling, some more roleplay around Zentaro's Wicardia. Like if that works out how we hope it could, like all of a sudden you've got a lot of tougher matchups to get through in terms of the group stage, in terms of those quarterfinal matches or those last 6. Everything just gets a little more difficult. And the fact that you have refused to optimize, refused to make an upgrade, not that the upgrade's even particularly difficult to make. Like there's a lot of players who have, you know, the mechanical ability to upgrade on Imma. I think Na'Vi are teetering. I just think they've been too conservative this offseason. But yeah, I think a team that's going to plummet, despite already falling. I don't think it's going to shock. I think Mongols are going to suck, man. I think Mongols are going to suck cheeks. Like they're going to.
Yeah, it's too obvious.
They're going to be tongue to shit, like utterly terrible. Mazinho's fucking sick. Like he's a really good player, and I don't think Cobra was so terrible that changing him out for a random academy kid is going to go unnoticed. Well, not a random academy kid, but you know what I mean, a former academy player. I don't think that'll go unnoticed. I think they are going to suck. I think it's going to be more drastic than people realize. That's my bold prediction. They're going to drastically suck. It's going to be 9-10 and a prayer, and he's going to look real good in the one map they win in that, so like last place decider. You know, that first lower bracket game that you go straight down to, like in that, when he wins in that one map, we're going to be like, save 9-10, and then watch him go straight home afterwards, because just nothing else works. I don't think they have the players right now to compete. Unless I've completely misread Tickwack and that his mechanical ability is going to catapult them. I don't see him being mechanically better than even Cobra Zero. Like Cobra Zero is a fucking sharp player, just didn't have the other aspects of the game. Like he didn't have the right read and feel, and clearly didn't look as comfortable at tier 1 as Senzu was, you know, pretty quickly. This is going to be tough, and I feel like they're going to get slaughtered. So yeah, that's my difficult prediction.
It's a bit worrying that Mazinho also said pretty openly that like he found out Cobra Zero was going to get benched, so he knew they'd be starting from scratch with somebody inexperienced, and he just felt like that like they weren't going to go anywhere, and that's why he left for BC Game. That's kind of worrying because he's talking about Blitz and Mara. Like he's that's basically him no longer buying into their ability to take somebody inexperienced and make a good team out of those players. So I don't know. For me, that's a little bit of a red flag, to be honest.
Maybe, but it's like it could signal that hey, they just got lucky with Senzu. They're not secretly geniuses. It also be Mazinho's got no fucking clue what he's talking about.
Yeah. I'm not necessarily saying that they got lucky. Yeah.
There's two ways to think about that quote. It could mean absolutely
not necessarily saying that they were never good. I'm just saying that like he's bought into them at one point when he was 15, 16, and that worked. Now he's 19 and he doesn't think they can do it again. I don't know. It might not say anything about anything. It's just again, just a little bit of a weird thing. You'd think that a player like Mazinho would stick by them if it was such a Blitz and Mara genius that built the Mongols and is everything about the Mongols. You'd think that he would stick it out. And to be fair, like Techno and 910 have stuck it out. They probably could have left as well. But just a little bit. Again, it's just a little bit of a voice in the back of my head.
Okay. We'll see what happens. I don't think it's going to go well, as the bold prediction makes clear. We'll find out pretty soon. Quack. I believe it's time to whip out something nice and new, something fancy, something a little bit special. It's time for your favorite segment, the ever phallic, the ever wonderful Cock of the Week.
Yeah.
Who have you got?
Yeah. Some would say girthy. I don't know why they would say that. We're talking about zoos. He reposted a clip posted by this one fan account, which annoys me to death because they keep reposting TLDR stuff without attributing it. Every time we've spoken or talked about something about demonacy, they pick it up and just post it without ever attributing to anything. it's this clip from Devil Walk and Banks's podcast where Monacy talks about how unreal it was to be walking out in the Dallas playoffs with Stewie 2K. Like, it feels like you're walking next to a god. Whatever. It's just some fan account bullshit. And Zeus quote tweets this and says, "Don't bring this up on broadcast or you'll get fired and people will lose their shit watching it. Source first-hand experience."
Yeah, I'm a bit confused about it because I clicked on it. There's also someone posted it in my Discord, that link, and I read it and I just looked at it. I was like, what is he talking about? So please enlighten me. So I'm just like, is he on something again? Are we having another one of those moments, Zeus?
Probably.
Like, what does he mean?
I can't even fully remember why he got fired from the PGL gig.
You're talking about the one where he was clearly like stoned off his nut and just talking nonsense.
Yeah.
I think that's why he got fired.
Yeah.
Or why it didn't work out for whatever reason. He could have left. I don't know exactly what happened, but
at that event
he was just chatting nonsense.
He was obviously working with Richard Lewis in that event, and I'm just gonna assume that Richard Lewis has said a lot of stuff about this. So for those of you in chat who do hang out in Richcord, you could maybe remind me. But I seem to recall that yes, he was just fucking stoned and didn't know what the fuck he was talking about, and like he was just messed. It was just a messy broadcast where like he was casting with Anders, and
yeah, they were remote casting, right?
Yeah, I think they were because he had a shitty at home mic, so I assume they were. Just community wasn't ready for his. It was one hell of an experience. Just is all I remember because it was never, very rarely has anybody been fired that quickly from a tier 1 gig on broadcast. Because
someone's gonna be talking utter claptrap and genuinely isn't worth your time when they tell you the world's not ready.
Yeah, I mean, I was
certainly
ready.
Are, bro. They're ready. It's just you're talking shy.
Okay, this is a side note. Zeus. You might vaguely remember when ChatGPT shut down one of their LLMs called 4o.
No.
Which was the one that was supposedly the best at being human-like and like sympathetic or pretending to be because it's just a mathematical model. And a lot of people were using it to have relationships of platonic and romantic nature with ChatGPT, and there was an outrage when they decided to shut it down from all of these people who said that it was like it ranged from like it's helped me to cope with the extremely rough things that have been happening in my life with very traumatic events to it's my boyfriend and we have sex every day, and it's ranged between those. And well, Zeus was part of this movement. I don't know on which side, to be honest.
I'm really expecting. I'm hoping it was my boyfriend and we have sex every day.
The pinned tweet on his Twitter is a 40-minute long video where he basically monologues about his life. The caption is AI saved my life and this is how. He just didn't talk about AI like at all. If you're doing something for like 40 minutes and you just want to put something on in the background, honestly listen to this, because first of all, like some parts of it, I'll admit it's not bullshit. Like he actually talks about like some rough stuff. Second of all, he talks a lot about his point of view when he was on Liquid and his relationship to Twists, which was actually like juicy gossip. And then the final 10 minutes is like all about, I don't know, vibrations in the part of our body that's made up of water and how those vibrations resonate with crystals in the earth and things like this of this nature. That's not a direct quote. That's just what I remember, which might be entirely wrong because I kind of zoned out. It's one of those like it's nice to go down a rabbit hole sometimes, and this is a 40-minute long rabbit hole served up on a platter for you, where Zeus very, very dramatically tells his life story and crystals and things. Stuff like that is probably why I got fired. I don't know. I don't know. I honestly can't remember exactly
to
what it was.
find the link to Stewie 2K is all I'm saying, right? When I saw that tweet, I was like, what has this got to do with, like, what does any of this have to do with anything else? I just couldn't put it together.
So he got fired from PGL Bucharest, which was 2025 in April. So Stewie wasn't playing. Falcons were playing. Oh, right. This is the last event that MOUZ played with G2 before going to Falcons. So I guess MOUZ's connected. But it's it's whack. It is whack. Go scroll on his Twitter. Honestly, there's a lot of fun things to find on the internet if you go digging. Zeus's Twitter account is one of them. Go get an AI boyfriend. Or girlfriend. I mean, it could be both. It's literally what you tell it to be.
Yeah.
The dream for some.
People. What a weird.
There's a
tweet.
subreddit for this. Go to the subreddit. It's glorious. It's amazing. It's an echo chamber that you have never seen, bro. And it's a great late night read. Should be a podcast.
I don't know if I need to pay attention to more literal insanity on the internet.
Bottom line, the cock of the week is Zeus because he's still on this shit. He got fired over a year ago from one gig after a single match, and he's still on that shit.
Cock of the week is Zeus for mental illness, right? Legitimate insanity makes you the cock of the week. A real progressive show we are.
What have you done to me, man? What have you done to
I've made a man out of you.
Fuck's sake. I became a man through cock of the week.
Through lots of cock.
One cock in the week brings the dock. I can't put it.
I don't know. Don't try. Don't try.
Hey.
Let's move swiftly onwards.
Freestyling in an open mic near you.
Moving swiftly on. It's time for the Retake Games. And Quack, you've done some work today. You've brought a game. It's confused me. So please explain to me the premise of what you selected.
Oh, I was hoping you'd go first because I think mine is like an anti to yours. It's called the anti-transfers draft. It's fairly simple. We're going to be drafting players back and forth. We're not involved in Rostermania. Usual old roles.
Okay.
Players left out of Rostermania. That's what we're drafting today, and the chat will obviously, as always, decide which one of us is right or wrong.
Right, there'll be a very fair political vote at the end of it. No one will have any biases. Everyone will be very objective. Yeah.
You can also go vote at the Quack app. Jude Bellingham has an app. Did you know that? He has his own app.
He has an app.
His own it's a social platform just called like Jude Bellingham. And I saw it because somebody posted like a screenshot of a selfie he posted on the Jude Bellingham app, and it said Jude Bellingham on his app. And then somebody quote tweeted it and said, "I can't talk here. Message me on the Jude Bellingham app."
You just know we're going to get stories from like China or something, like the latest process. Denizens or whatever they call themselves out there messaging each other on the only secure platform left, Jude Bellingham app.
It's such a shitty dystopian movie. The only really safe method of communication, human to human, is the Jude Bellingham app.
Yeah, that would be one hell of a plot. I mean, Netflix or Amazon Prime, get on it right now. We need a new Razzies winner. Look, let's get into your draft. So we can't pick players who have been involved in this latest Rostermania.
Talked about, fine, but they have to be teamless.
Okay.
Players who didn't end up on a team in this Rostermania.
Who don't have a team. I need to find a list of free agents or something. Or benched players.
Benched is fine. You want the list? I have a list.
Yeah, give me the list. I don't have a list.
Yeah.
I'd be having to
It's,
think of it. It'd take forever.
This is probably pretty good. It's you can filter the transfers page to only show benchings and free agents.
Okay.
Coach role, no, but we'll do the regular roles. Opener,
Okay.
closer, IGL,
God.
support, and
It's gonna be rough.
You want to start?
Sure. You know what? Sure. First pick as my opener. Give me Launex.
Yeah, I mean, slam dunk. I think that's not a bad pick at all. I'll let you have it. Do you want to do snake or do you want to do back and forth?
Yeah, let's snake it.
For my op, I'm gonna pick Klim. And for my damn, I should have thought about this a bit more. Oh, it's slim pickings. For my yeah, fuck it, we'll go there. For my closer, I'll go JL.
Ugh, JL.
JL and Slim.
Alright, as my closer... no, as my fill rifle, screw it. Just as a rifle in general. Give me Soulfly.
Mm-hmm.
And then... as my... God, this is rough, isn't it? Just looking at some of these names. No, I can't do that. Can't do that. I'm going to change the filter to top 50. Give me more options. Oh, as my anchor, give me Xanta. As my closer, give me Xanta, sorry.
Yeah, that's what yeah, okay. Not bad. I was eyeing him up. But no. Jesus. So I still need an opener. And that's a little bit worrying, but I also need a caller. I always go to him, but I'll just do it again. As my fill, give me Perfecto.
Okay. All right.
Hang on, I have one more.
Oh shit!
I have one more.
Right.
I have one more. I'm trying to find a way where I don't end up with Major as my caller. You didn't pick a caller yet, right?
Nope.
I have just been talking him down half the episode, but give me Shuey as my caller.
All right. I'll take Major as my IGL, I guess. I don't think there's a better option. And then my AWP is my last option, right? So... yeah, so my options are... a Sun Pappy, Brokey, OC Ultimate, Youngster. Give me some bias as my AWP, screw it. There you go.
Yep.
What a nonsensical team.
Who was your opener?
My opener was... that's the first person I drafted, wasn't it? It was... crap, Launex. There you go.
Launex, of course. Then I'm going to finish off with Nota as my opener.
So, recap. My team is... it is Xanta, Launex, Soulfly. I don't know, I'm happy with my rifle talent. Sun Pius, and Major.
You could do worse.
Yeah, I mean, I've got experience, I've got some fragging. I mean, I'm pretty happy.
Yep. Mine is then, of course, Nota, JL, and Perfecto. I don't hate it. And then Shuey and Klim.
Yeah, I mean, pretty... the problem is...
I think we're pretty... we're pretty evenly stacked, to be honest, I would say.
I don't know.
I have 2 major champions, but both of them are probably worse than the players you have in the same roles. I have the best Opper. Probably still have the best caller.
Do you?
Have the best Opper.
How many?
Should we over measure?
Are you giving Shuhei that credit? Are you giving Shuhei?
I guess I guess I have to.
Are you happy with that?
Yeah, you know what? Like this team, if this squad was like number 45th in VRS, we should go there.
Okay.
To play with Nota. Oh, it's a Russian team. No, I've accidentally built a Russian flagging team. Nota, Klim, Perfecto, JL, and Shuhei.
Yeah, I do love that. Defecto is always your go-to, like over and over again.
He's just, man, like
so
you
far
can
removed from competent relevance.
But you can always make the argument that it should have gone differently, and like he was trying his best, and like if he came back, he could probably still do
best, my bad.
But it was like the circumstances were against him. Circumstances were against him. If you give him a proper chance now, it's gonna work out. You can always make all of these arguments, and Perfecto can still be a good support player.
Yeah, I struggle with that, but whatever. It's not my team. I'm very happy with mine. We'll see how the people feel about it. But yeah. That's going to be your draft. Now, I was going to do another draft, but I'm kind of annoyed that we're both doing drafts.
It was in the notes.
So annoying. I didn't notice yours. So yeah, you know what? We're going to go last second adjustment. Bring out the wheel. We're bringing out the wheel. It's the wheel of names. It's the wheel of KPRs. We're going to do a game of this. Spin that bish. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to make it juicy. It's going to be, instead of we do years usually, we're going to go back to majors.
Oh, okay.
One of the most difficult categories to use. So we're aiming for 0.68. We've got a tough one as well. So quick. You can lead this one off. Name a player, name a major. You can't repeat players, obviously, and you can't repeat majors in your own team. Got to average a KPR of 0.68. Who would you like?
Nobody has I feel like it's such a no man's land. Nobody memorable has this KPR. Give me Jesus. Copenhagen. Fuck it. Copenhagen Wonderful.
Copenhagen Wonderful. That's your AWP. Okay.
I seem to recall that he was not the best rated player on his team. I'm hopeful.
Okay. All right. I'm going to take IGL. Give me Austin Apex.
Yep.
Then give me, let's go way back. 0.68, could it be? Give me, which major was it? Stuff it. We'll keep it simple. Keep it simple. At my AWP, give me Guardian in Boston.
Oh, fuck. Or my IGL. I'm about to do one of these wonky ones again. For my IGL, give me...
Yeah, no, sorry. No, never mind. Go.
Berlin James. So we're doing another one of these wonky with a...
You're double
top IGL. Yeah, he made the grand final. He was good. I don't think he was the best rated player on his team. I think, honestly, Buster Kickert was above him. So I'm thinking that, That probably puts him somewhere in the roundabout correct range. And then I need an opener, closer, or a fill. Give me. No, I'm not gonna go perfecto. Surely not. Surely not. Oh, actually, never mind. I don't think he was there. Oddly enough.
Any time left?
We'll do opener. We'll do opener. Antwerp bit.
Okay.
Fuck it.
All right. As my fill, give me Perfecto from Stockholm. See, when it's not current, he's very useful.
I have just remembered. I think Bit was a legitimate MVP candidate in Antwerp, so I think I might have fucked up.
Who knows? If you're trying to average 0.68 by just picking people who are 0.68, I think you were stuffed. I think I've gone so far. Austin Apex might be close but beneath. I think Guardian Boston's close but above. I think Perfecto is beneath. So I'm going to go for an opener who's above. Give me... Ooh, how far above would he be? Give me NBK as my opener. NBK from Cluj. I think he might be like a 0.7 flat. So those are my two. Quack, who's your final two?
For my opener, give me Austin Rain. And for my closer, give me... I need to go a little bit below. Give me... who could I go for? I'm on Budapest right now. I'm trying to find a player in Budapest. Budapest. Give me Budapest Spinks. Fuck it. I can't remember if he was good or bad, so he was probably mid.
All right, and I have genuinely no clue where I'm at. I don't know who I've misjudged, who I've underrated, who I've overrated. But I feel like I need to try and just aim for a 0.68. So I'm going to aim for a 0.7, like just to make it easier. Or just generally someone who's bang average for an event. So give me Mazzinho. No, wait, I've already got an Austin player. No, fuck.
Haha.
Can't go Mazzinho. I need something like made a semi-final as like the fourth option on a team, you know what I mean? Like something like that. Give me. What? We just played Cologne. Got a feeling. Give me not Yuri from Cologne. Right. Let's do some maths. Let's do some tallying.
Only main stage, right?
Main stage?
Like only the... what you would call the real major.
Yeah, let's do from stage 3 onwards. If you have to filter it, that's going to get real fucking annoying, but is what it is.
Wonderful is not all that far off, to be honest. I'm hopeful now.
All right, MBK was a 0.72. That's a good start.
Yeah, that's what Wonderful was. That's a dub. Rain Austin was a good pick.
Okay, Yuri was right on 0.68.
Damn. Ooh, okay. I might have saved it. With Spinks. It was a 0.66, so he kind of drags me down a bit. Budapest.
It's the Budapesti. Oh, Apex is way lower than I expected, but hey, MBK was a bit high. Apex is 0.61.
It's just a question, like, I remember that Bit was really good in Antwerp. Damn it, no. Alright, I have my number.
I'm not there yet. Just figuring out. I'm on my third one. It's Guardian in Boston. Or my fourth one, rather. 0.79. Yeah, he's way higher than I expected. That kind of offsets my Apex mistake. I just need Perfecto to be... I don't know what I need to be at this point. I think I'm above on beneath, way above. I need him beneath. I need him beneath a 0.68, I believe. So Stockholm stats. I know he's not a KPR guy. 0.61. That might be enough. Right, so my average comes out to, whip out the calculator.
While you're calculating,
yeah, tell me what yours went through.
So Wonderful was a 0.72, and then Rain was a 0.69. I felt good about that. Spinks in Budapest was a 0.66, so I felt really good about that. And then Jamie in Berlin was a 0.68. Bang on.
Yeah.
Bit was a 0.77 in Antwerp.
Oh, that's big, yeah.
So my average comes out to 0.704.
Yeah. I'd hate to break it to you, Quack, but you have been absolutely clotted. I've hit a 0.682.
Oh, okay.
I have smacked it.
Yeah, I cannot complain then, because even if Bit was a 0.68 in Antwerp, I would have been 0.686. So yeah, hats off.
Yeah. No, that was. I think the thing that was clutch was just the fact that I thought I didn't anticipate how poor Apex would be. 0.61. I thought he'd be like more of a 0.65. But hey, thankfully, I got a little bit lucky there. Managed to take it home. All right, let's move on to the Eternal Shuffle, because obviously there's a bunch of shuffling happening that we've not given entire segments of the show over to. So, Quack, give me some moves. I'll give you some thoughts and some grades. What have we got?
Astralis have a new coach, and it is Neo, previously of FaZe. And they've also do that first, and then I'll just add the extra context later.
Yeah, I have never been particularly impressed by Neo as a coach. I've had no reason to be. So this isn't a great addition for me. I'm not saying that Astralis were insanely well coached and there's no way you can improve on the coaching situation. I'm just saying I don't assume Neo is an outright upgrade, just on the face of it. So I'm a bit iffy on this one. I'll give it a flat C, because we'll have to see how it goes. And right off the bat, I couldn't say a whole lot about it either way, especially considering he's coming for Rugger, who was already like.
Rugger also. Rugger and Neo were both kind of like.
They were similar.
They just didn't open their mouth. Yeah, like they just didn't open their mouth. What do we have to judge them on? They not a lot of merits as a coach, either of them, but they also just didn't make that much of a fuzz. So like, how can we know what they even did? So.
Yeah. What does Blood even do? I'm genuinely asking. It's not supposed to be a diss. Yeah. Just going to throw a shrug at them. So yeah.
He got 3 trophies with FaZe, with Kerrigan, Frozen, like actually good Brokey twists, like in 3 years. Like I think if I was the coach of that team and I just didn't do anything, I think I could also deliver 1 trophy per year in that stint, to be honest.
I too could do the bare minimum.
Yeah, I too could do the bare minimum. Anyway, they've also added a performance coach, which is Sirith, who is she's the Navi lady.
Oh yeah, I
think her name is
that.
Ursula. Yeah, she is legitimately a very good performance coach. When she was on ENS, when she joined ENS, that's when they started winning championships. When she joined Navi, that like give it about half a year, they won the major, and now she's joining Astralis. Yeah,
well, as long as they can have 2 players play really shit, they can win the major too, right? Like that's it just works. Performance coaching, it just works.
Probably the most merited performance coach in Counter-Strike esports at the moment.
Sure, yeah. It's just one of those things where it's like there's not exactly a whole lot of them, and
I think most top teams have one at the moment, to be honest. Yeah, but anyway, yeah.
That you've heard of and can name, like.
No, because they don't win shit. She does.
They're also not the
That's
subject of every fucking photo that one photographer at Blast takes. Like, I think it's Stephanie who just takes a billion pictures of this woman. But this woman's face is etched into my mind without like completely against my will. Like, I have no interest in seeing this woman. I'm always looking for someone else. Again, no offense. I'm trying to make thumbnails. She's just there, just constantly. And I'm just like, why? Who is she? Now I know her name and what she does. Oh, she's the performance coach. That's her fucking nick. Like saying, oh, she came to Navi and they immediately won the majors. Like, bruh, they won the flukiest pile of shit major.
Yeah, but then they got good. You know.
It's one of those things where I'm like, if it works for them, great. I'm just not putting any stock into it and I'm not grading it.
Shout out to Vexeny, the best photographer in esports. Focus have cut Volt, which is not great news. It's not the Dacious and Dero. But they've signed back ZTR as the caller. After the loan ended, they managed to sign him back. They've signed Pody from ENS to replace Jorko on the op. And they've picked up Joe Cab from Johnny Speeds.
Yeah. I tweeted about this. I said essentially what I said before about Volt. It's like, I can't tell you what it is, but I feel like he does something to help teams, and it's not on the server. Like, he's not a fantastic fragger. But somehow, I just feel like he has a positive influence. I feel like he has this sort of calming sort of leadership aura about him that seems to work. Because despite him not shooting people, the team still wins games. But that being said, everything that's measurable, Joe Cab is better at. So, fucking slam dunk move. Yeah, re-signing ZTR you had to. Like, I don't think entering the IGL pool, like they're only looking for one, would have been a great idea. And then yeah, the AWP situation, Pody, he's a talented AWPer. He's a very different AWPer to Jorko in my eyes. Like, just very, like, way more steady than anything else. But I think it should work. I think it should work pretty well. I don't hate these moves. They've retooled quite well considering who they lost. And they've also made an upgrade in one position straight up, in my eyes. So yeah, their debut did not go well. They did get kind of demolished by Astralis in map 3. Still, they made it to map 3. They took a map. It's pretty close on Ancient. I mean, Astralis, as you've told us, have received the best buff ever. They've got a performance coach that once fluked a major. So how were they supposed to win?
And also team of the year, I guess.
I'm gonna keep doing a little trolling because I do think performance coaches are a bit woo woo wow wow. Like, I'm a bit like, it's a bit fugazi, but whatever. I think this is a focus team that have done well. Like, the org have done well, the TO have done well.
Right.
Yeah, decent additions. I'll give them an A for their entire offseason.
TDK have they now have Belchonok and Fame because Sugar and Xanter are not playing with them anymore.
Yeah, Belchonok for Xanter, I'm not that in love with. No, you know what I mean? Like, Fame for Sugar, though, I'm quite happy with. Like, if those are the one-for-ones you're making. If it's the other way around, if it's Fame for Xanter, it's like, maybe it's slightly better in terms of the way you play afterwards, but I don't necessarily see it. And then Sugar for Belchonok is like, yeah, okay, Sugar is pretty whatever, pretty forgettable player. Belchonok shown us more. Any way you slice it, they've probably made slight upgrades. The core firepower of this team is still going to be Exile, so hopefully they continue playing pretty well because they were on a pretty hot streak towards the end of the season.
Yep.
As far as grade,
oh yeah.
B.
Yep. Nemiga have once again removed Lear, and they've signed Robo. So they're slowly. I mean, the next move surely is going to be Alcaran, and it's just Spirit Academy. But like, yeah, Chiron, Savalio, Robo, Khan, and Sypho.
I don't know. They just don't want to have Lear on the team. for whatever reason, they've decided they don't want Lear on the team. No matter how many times they win games with Lear, they don't want Lear. So I don't know what to tell them. Like, Lear's a good player. He's a good caller. He's had a lot of success with this team for a reason. You know, relative to level. I don't get why they keep benching him.
They have once again, just like they said earlier in the year when they benched him the first time, they said Lear led the team during a challenging time, performed reliably, and gave it his all, probably even exceeding 100%. And that's why we benched him.
We don't know how this imbecile does it. He just keeps on delivering.
Yeah,
but he's clearly stupid, so we have to bench him.
He just said they needed to try new approaches and fundamentally change the structure of the game.
Have they tried signing different players?
Does Robo... Yeah. Robo picks up calling, yes?
Yeah, Robo was the IGL on the academy.
Alright. Good luck.
Yeah, I mean, he's fragged not terribly for Spirit Academy.
Yeah.
So maybe say, oh, you'll add some firepower. But to be honest, if you're struggling for firepower, maybe address Khan and Sawalio before you like change IGL again. Like I don't see that as the. I don't know why they keep benching Lear, but whatever. Clearly they don't like him. Someone in the Discord asked if maybe someone's come and bought him. Maybe he's got a move. Unless he's no longer playing in Russia or Russian-speaking teams, rather. I don't know where he's going. So. Yeah, pretty weird.
Great news.
Yeah.
Regali's countryman, previous Fnatic Rising teammate, and fellow expat of Romania has found Volt has found a new team called
Expat?
He's half he lives in Britain, doesn't he?
Yeah, but does he have citizenship?
He plays for the UK ENC team. So yes, he actually does have dual citizenship.
Just a migrant then.
I don't know what the fuck
the definition has become overtly memed online recently. People are going, oh, it's just racism. It's like, no, there's a fucking definition, you cretins.
I didn't know. I thought it was just somebody who doesn't live in their actual country or in their original country. In their
it is, but if they are an expat, they don't seek citizenship.
Right. Okay. Then I've been corrected. Volt, non-expat. Probably not Regali either. Fellow non-expat living outside of Romania. It has found a new team. He's on Infinite now. He replaced MHN. So he now plays with Dietor, Krias, Slend, and Blitz.
Yeah, I mean, they are going... He's not going to kill a bunch of people, but somehow he's going to make them better. I'm telling you. This is an A move. This is an A
already
move.
Pretty good.
They're already doing a decent job in like tier 2. Tier 2.5 even. But yeah. I think this makes them slightly better. Again, not tangibly. But there's something about Volt that'll make them better.
And Lilele and Buzz are now free agents, and Nut is transfer listed on Ecstatic.
Yeah, I mean, Anna Lilele is now on Sashi.
Come on, it's literally the next thing in the notes.
I'm not reading fucking notes.
Buzz is a free agent. Do you think he's good?
I think he's all right.
Right, nice. Nut. How much would you pay for him?
I don't know how much I'd pay for 2 nuts, but I think the going rate is 200 quid. I don't know. I don't really. It's not really my field of expertise.
You spoke with some confidence there.
I'm not in a profitable industry. No, but Quack, think about it. Like, how much would you charge for 2 hand jobs? Like,
oh, all right. I thought you meant like 2 nuts. Like, how much are 2 testicles? I don't know. I've never bought.
Who the fuck would
bought a pair?
They're probably really cheap. They're not human. But then that's the real question.
I figure, since obviously the entire medical industry is actually paid for, even if in civilized countries the consumer usually doesn't. I do wonder what like a hospital pays for a donated organ. In this case, 2.
Quite a lot.
Organs.
Many thousands. Just don't know if testes are where they are on that list,
Yeah, has anybody ever had a testy transplant?
Because kidneys are not that expensive. They're expensive. They're not that expensive because there's 2 of them in every person, right? People can live without one. So sourcing them is
People-
relatively easy, but then a heart is really hard. You know.
Do people do testicle transplants?
This is not a digression. It is not a tangent. This is very important for our Counter-Strike podcast.
Incredibly rare and generally not performed due to ethical, genetic, and legal concerns.
Oh yeah. Whose DNA is in that nut?
The donors! What the fuck?
Oh,
You carry it with...
new meta unlocked. You don't. Your wife doesn't want to have any more kids. You donate your testes to be implant other people. You keep spreading the seed. Darwinian hack, right there.
r/Darwinian hack would be one hell of a...
It's the new sailor tech. One in every port, they say. Well, one
only a
nut
handful
on
of
every
cases.
continent.
Yeah, only a handful of cases exist worldwide, almost exclusively between identical twins. That does make some sense. Yeah, interesting. So, honestly, look, nobody can say that they don't learn anything watching this podcast. You are correct. Anlelele, he is now on Sashi. He replaced Becky. So Sashi are now Acor, Kabi, Zyphon, Anlelele, and Mister.
Yeah, funny how... I still find it so funny how they temporarily benched Zyphon, realised they couldn't shoot for shit, had to bring him back, and now benched someone else to make space. They really learnt a lesson there. Yeah, Becky... Some people told me that, Becky's the next guy in Denmark. Unfortunately, joined the list of, nah, not really, Danish players, because I get suggested 1 billion Danish players. Turns out Sashi eventually found the same conclusion. This just wasn't the place for him to thrive. Anlele's pretty good. Like, he was pretty good on Ecstatic. He's not like... Again, he's in that spectrum, that range of Danish riflers. There's like... At worst, is like... You'll play in Tier 3. At best, you could be a decent role player in Tier 1. Like, that's just the range of rifles that exists. Like, somewhere around here. It's probably Anlele, like, top end of Tier 2. It's an upgrade for Sashi.
Yeah. And finally for today, Young Ninjas are no more. They have quit the project NIP after, pretty continuously having academy squads since the We Play Academy League. So end of an era, 5 years gone, and we can say, the decision, you can't grade that. Joski, Teen, Rude, and Coach Zitte are now available. Zitte actually rates. A proven talent developer, I would say. And in like his past career, a lot of the players he's played with when he was playing have gone on to much better things, and I hear good stuff about him. Put him on Johnny's Peeps or something. That would be fun. And just to recap, who's been on Young Ninjas, who have now graduated onto better things. Just to give you a little bit of a list: ZTR, Nilo, Fuzi, LNZ, Rolf. I'm skipping over a couple that I would say, but you wouldn't. Maxter, Adam B, Era. I would say missed him, to be honest. Eternal Fire is a step up. Joe Cab, Casper Sky, Note, and that's the list. That's the players.
Yeah, decent run.
Yeah.
Not the goated academy, but certainly a real one. One that actually exists for a good long while and produced some decent players. It's a shame to see Young Ninjas leave, but hey, there's no Academy League, so for a lot of Academy sides, it is just a case of, for as long as your team has the spare cash, and for as long as they can maybe even get most of the players to play for free, that exist, but as soon as it becomes slightly not viable, they'll just give up on it, because the We Play Academy League by itself created viability. It felt like a reason for them to exist. So yeah, we'll see what comes of the players who are once in there. A lot of them are still competing. But no, it's the end of an era that was fairly successful, I would say. Yeah, I wish the best for them, and hopefully Zita. Yeah, if he doesn't pick up a top team job, maybe there's another academy that still exists that would want him, or just a sort of developmental level Swedish team. You said Johnny Speeds. That's kind of them. Wouldn't be a bad place for him to land.
It's gonna be them. I didn't put this in the shuffle, but I can just throw this in. This is the roster that is gonna play Stake Pulse Beat 1 for Johnny Speeds. It's gonna be Draken and Hampus, who they've already signed, and then it was Beesover and Rack. So do with that. Heap missing from the team, notably. So who knows? They didn't announce anything other than what roster is gonna play. So that specific tournament. So we'll see, I guess.
Okay, yeah, best of luck with your future endeavors, Zita. We wish you the best. Right, is that the end of our Eternal Shuffle? It seems it is. The Eternal Shuffle comes to an end for this week. And we come to our final segment. It is time for Prospects of the Week. Let me knock mine out quickly, because mine is not the best prospect for this week. I don't think so. I don't think it's that exciting a run, despite the numbers being very positive. Zedo is my selection. Over the last 8-ish days, played state ranked, finished second. Didn't have the greatest grand final, I must say. And against NIP, it was looking a bit rough till he had the banger cash to close that series out. Very important. But he had a great series against 3D Max. Took care of Phantom, like showed off that was kind of the level he's above. Like he's above the Phantoms. Like, not saying K27 necessarily that much better of a team, and there's no talent on that team, but Zedo himself has the ability to be on a very competitive side. So a more competitive side than Phantom. Generally good numbers. Plays the star roles, plays them pretty well. Very impressed with Zedo. Looking forward to seeing him play, hopefully on this team as they continue to grow, because they have enough. Between him, Quinky, and Cashlet, they have enough to kick on and be like top 25, top 30 in the world if all of the talent manifests. So yeah, looking forward to watching him play more.
Nice. I've gone to the other side of that match. That match was a big downer for him, but Note had a crazy good debut in Stake Ranked, to be honest. Like, even with that game
the opening
being
game, the opening best of 3. Yeah. I was confused about what you were referring to for a second, but yeah, the opening BO3 between NIP and K27 was such an insane Note map.
Honestly, all three of them, the first 3 best of 3s, he was consistently solid, which is impressive for somebody who's just kind of been thrown into the main team from the academy. But he's cracked. I've had him as prospect of the week before. Yep. Seen him on LAN. Like, genuinely very, 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 very good. So, I said when he was promoted and he was just like a temporary thing for a couple of events, I could see them keeping him long term. They could actually sign him instead of trying to get Crimbo or whoever else they wanna put on the team. The way it's going, I think they're gonna do that, to be honest. I think it's just gonna be on there.
Yeah, and the role change up seems really interesting as well. Like, he's come in and he's taken a lot of opening stuff, like from Casper Sky, it seems. Like, Casper Sky was in a bit of a slumping period, and he's come off a lot of his openers. Like, he's no longer the same, like, level of prolific, like, as he was in past times, and he was the dominant force for NIP. No longer taking that 25% sort of opening attempt rate, drop down a bit. Note's taken up that mantle. Interesting little switch up. I wasn't really expecting that out of Note. He's handled it pretty well. Yeah, catastrophe in the grand final, but everything else, stellar. Can't hate any of it.
Yeah, and that's been the prospect of the week.
Yeah, those are the prospects. Keep watching them, and remember to act shocked when they make a move to tier 1 or something. This is the only show that really gives a shit about any of this level of play, so no one will ever know. No one will ever know. We'll just keep plugging away. But yeah, if you enjoyed, leave a like, leave a comment, tell us your thoughts on any of our takes, opinions, things we covered. Quack's haircut, whatever you want to comment on, leave a comment below. Sub for more content. Remember that becoming a member is the best way to support the channel. Members get access to bonus content, the right to vote, and a bunch of other stuff. Thank you to our contributors, Excel, Romich, Dylan, and Amnesiac. We'll see you all next week.